Hanukkah. May your candles burn bright in this season. A collection of blessings from the winter holidays. Hello, my name is Bobby Poole. My pronouns are she, her, and welcome to those in person and those on Zoom. Please rise in body or spirit as we invite our chalice flame with our Song of Covenant.
To build a beloved community, we covenant. Open heart and spirit so we can grow. Kindness flows our gift to forgive and uplift every striving soul that's holy and whole. To build a beloved community, we covenant. To co-create our faith by the way we share its values in our bones, evolving as we roam. Our kinship with the world is our promise and prayer. By our waters, soil and stones, rise up fire. We are home. We are home. Rock out. We are home. We are home. We are home.
Please remain standing. May I be empty and open to receive the light. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be full and open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive. May I be empty and open to receive the light. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be full and open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive. May I be empty and open to receive the light. May I be empty and open to receive. May I be full, may I be and full, open to receive the light. May I be full and open to receive.
Happy solstice. I could just keep saying things and you were going to repeat them back to me. Are y'all ready to receive the light? What a glorious night to do that. No better. So thank you for that beautiful rendition of our covenant song and the response to lighting the covenant. My name is Reverend Ron Ferris. My pronouns are he, him, and we are All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church. Rooted in a community of love, the mission of All Souls is to cultivate compassion, foster spiritual connection, and enact transformative justice to heal ourselves and the world. Please join me as we craft a moment to come into full presence. I invite you to ground into a reflective state as we put words to our gratitude and intention. If you would all take a breath with me. Tonight we give thanks for all those who bring light to our lives, whether that's family, friends, a congregation, a story, or those more distant who nonetheless impact our lives and the lives of those we hold dear. We thank all those who have carried tradition in a good way, with integrity and grace, from then until now. Their work shapes our days into something ever better. We pray for the well-being of all those for whom this season is difficult, and for all those whose lives are made more difficult by the forces of empire and dominion. May we prove helpful to those in need. May we ground ourselves in compassion. May we be humble in our helping. May we nurture the holy light we have been given by birth, and may we share it warm and clear when it is right to do so. With gratitude, this is our collective intent. We ask what grace is open to influence, to hear our prayer as the hope of all here gathered. Amen.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
All right, I'm Molly Doolin. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to tell you a story. But the children can stay in their seats because there's really no room up here. Speaking of no room, long ago, a man and a woman walked a long road. The woman was about to have a baby. They were not famous or powerful. Most people didn't really notice them at all. And yet somehow this journey carried something very important. Can you put your hand to your heart like you're thinking about something very important? Okay. They had been walking all day long, and they needed a safe place to stay for the night. Oh, you can yawn and stretch like you're tired. And some of you may be. The road was dusty. The air was cold. You can put your arms around yourself like you're cold. And night was coming. When they reached the town, it was busy and bright. People hurried past with plans and places to go. Doors were closing for the night. Put your hands together like you're closing a door. Okay. The couple knocked. Can you knock? Me. And they waited. No room, someone said. They knocked again. No room. The doors were closed in their tired faces. Holding on to hope, they tried again. And again, and still they were told, what were they told? No room. No room for tired feet, no room for hungry hearts, no room for a baby not yet born. With every door that closed, it began to feel as though the world itself had no room for them. Their shoulders and their bodies ached. Their hands trembled, felt like the night might never end. They began to wonder if anyone, anywhere, would make space for them. At last, someone paused. Someone opened the door. Spread your arms like you're opening the door. Open the door, and chose to welcome them in. And they led them to a place that was meant for animals, but it felt safe there, with the soft golden light from a lantern. The air smelled of hay and earth. A soft breeze carried the smell of the night outside, cold and crisp. And take a deep breath like you're breathing in the cold, crisp air. Small sounds of shuffling hooves and rustling straw filled the space. And my daughter said that needed more animal sounds. So if there's any other sounds you think that should be in this major, go ahead and make them now. Yay. All right. Thank you. We're very good at this. Yeah. Very talented noisemakers here. Thank you. So this place with these great animal sounds did not look very important. Nothing about it really seemed remarkable, but it was warm and it was enough. And there, in that simple, ordinary place, a baby was born. Small and warm, with tiny curled hands and soft skin, and that magical new baby smell. Just a baby, small enough to be held, and you can put your arms out like you're holding a baby. Outside the town, the night was quiet. Most people were asleep, but the shepherds were awake. They had spent many long nights under the stars, watching over their flocks. A light appeared in the dark sky. Put your hand up like you're making a light. And a voice called out, "A baby is born tonight. Go and find the child." The shepherds hurried, their hearts full of wonder. They moved quietly through the night. They went under the stars, and when they found the baby in the soft light, the world felt a little different. Something new had begun. A small, quiet beginning. A beginning that could grow.
It is a night when we celebrate hope in the midst of trouble, light breaking into the long night, and just as the sun has now begun its generous reaffirmation, sharing its light more each day, we too have the opportunity to share light. Tonight's collection will be taken to replenish the Ministerial Discretionary Fund. This is a line in our budget from which the minister may distribute at his discretion when circumstances call for it. In the past, it has been used for many purposes, everything from scholarships to justice workshops to helping members and friends with rent or utilities, vehicle expenses, and gestures of gratitude for staff. When the need is dire, the Ministerial Discretion Fund enables our congregation to make all the difference in a confidential manner. While it is only a short-term fix, sometimes that's exactly what is needed to help people get above the water long enough to generate a longer-term solution. Please share generously to support this vital ministry. All Souls, missed my period. We thank you for sharing your light with one another. We will now take the offering.
Buried form. There we are. This story comes into the world in varied forms from the Haida, Tlingit, Kwakiutl, Bella Kula, and other Northwest Coast peoples, as well as some Inuit peoples. It circulates widely, especially at this time of year. I retell it tonight, just days after the solstice, as a humble borrowing with all respect, appreciation, and gratitude. In this season, we know darkness and cold. We can feel a bleak chill encircling our hearts at times, filling us with hunger and longing and sometimes even fear. In response, we often seek company and light and cheer. But imagine how it was for Raven. In the beginning, they say, the world was in total darkness. Had it always been only dark? Was this before time began or outside of time altogether? Before light or after? Either way, Raven flew, alone, hungry, and never warm. In darkness, he could sometimes hear another, flapping or scuttling or breathing, but he could never see or find anyone in the inky, pitch dark, eternal night. Hunger gnawed at Raven's insides, and he spent his time finding food in whatever way whatever might creep or wriggle slowly enough, bugs or worms or what have you. So once, when he saw a crack of the dimmest light in the distance, he took notice and he flew closer. He listened as he heard feet padding toward what must have been water and heard gurgling as a vessel was filled, all while someone, a human woman it seemed, hummed ever so slightly under her breath. Mm-hmm. The crack of light disappeared when she retreated and closed to what Raven now understood to be a door. He watched over some time, occasionally seeing the door crack and hearing her emerge and fill her basin. He brushed his feathers along the rocks, seeing that they were vertical and horizontal, smooth, deciding this must be a house. Listening to the muffled voices, Raven heard a gruff, older man's voice alongside the young woman's. Father and daughter, he decided. When the door opened for the last to seek water, Raven could see the faint light inside emanated from high in a corner where only the tall man could reach. Through his slyness and curiosity, in other words, Raven learned that the old man had a great treasure, all the light in the universe, contained in a tiny box concealed inside other boxes. And at once, Raven resolved to steal it. He thought, and he made a plan. Next time the lass came outside for the water, Raven transformed himself into a flat evergreen spruce needle and wafted himself down to float on top of the water and float into her vessel. He used his raven magic to strike her with great thirst, and she immediately drank deeply, swallowing the needle. It slipped and slithered down into her warm belly and down where the raven transformed himself again, this time into a tiny human. After sleeping and growing there for a long time, at last Raven emerged into the world once more, this time as a baby boy. Now, the young woman didn't know how this child had begun to grow within her womb, but once he was born, she loved her son immediately. Her father, the boy's grandfather, was just as taken with the boy, enjoying nothing more than encouraging his delight and his caw-caw laughter, because, of course, Raven was not your typical little boy. He'd been born with a raven's beak, and if the light weren't so dim, they'd see a few feathers poking out behind his ears as well. As he grew, he was always after that treasure box, which his grandfather would never let him touch. Even though, or perhaps because he was such an unusual boy, the grandfather's whole world was about keeping him entertained and happy. And more, Raven Child begged and begged to be allowed to hold the light for just a moment. When he was told no, day after day, he frequently melted down and made a great fuss, including more croaking and squawking than an all-human child's tantrum would normally contain. Was it the mother or the grandfather in the end who relented? I don't know. We hear different stories, but in time, it seems they yielded to his pleas. First, just the outer box. Raven Child could be content for a time before the pleading and the tantrums began again. Finally, grandfather lifted the very last box, and out of it, a warm and glowing sphere. To let the child hold it for just a moment, the grandfather cautioned. As the light was moving toward him, the human child transformed into raven form, wings spread ready for flight and beak open in anticipation. And as the beautiful ball of light reached him, the raven captured it in his beak, and flapping his powerful wings, he whished up through the smoke hole in the roof of the house and he escaped out into the darkness with his stolen treasure. As he flew off into the distance, an eagle espied the light, also the first light for the eagle, and dove and smashed into the raven from above. The sphere of light tumbled and crashed off a rock, sending splinters all across the sky. And to this day, we call those splinters our moon and our stars. Raven swooped up to pick the large remaining chunk in midair, but here came the eagle again. Whoosh! She whisked the light out of the raven's beak. But as the eagle flew off with the light, she noticed it burning her beak and feathers and dropped it. For only Raven was meant to carry light into the world. The orb seemed to float toward Raven as it fell slowly downward, emanating light. That dark world was immediately transformed, with mountains and valleys revealed and streams and lakes catching silvery, glinting light. Everywhere life began to stir and the world awoke. As Raven reached the orb and grasped it in midair once again, he somehow felt all his greed for possessing the light just for himself easing. He surprised himself and gamely placed that ball of light against the eastern sky, where it became the rising sun. And that sun has been giving light to this world ever since, returning each sunrise and journeying far in winter and returning to us day by day after the solstice.
I invite you to rise in mind, body, or spirit. Our next song, while the lyrics may be Christian heavy, it is a famous Christmas carol. I invite those of you like myself that are non-Christians to invite love, light, and kindness into the world, because these days, love, light, and kindness are an act of resistance.
All right. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. No more let sin and sorrows grow. No thorns infest the ground. He comes to make his blessings flow. Far as the curse is found, far as the curse is found, far as the curse is found. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love.
So what are we to make of this? We've heard a story of parents searching for a birthing place and being welcomed by animals, and another about ravens stealing the light, and soon we will hear a tale about chalices, what they are and what they do. And of course, we cannot help but know that tonight, is anchored in our time and culture by the story of a baby infused with the power that created the universe, being born of immigrant parents, being sent back to where they came from. So is there any consistency here? Some through thread that we can grasp and hold on to that will deliver us from dread and into joy? Now, normally when a minister asks that question, the answer is yes, and he's about to reveal said consistency. Well, I'm not so sure. Maybe. I mean, there is some things that come to me when I listen closely to these stories and hold them in relation to one another. So here's what I think I hear when I listen to the story of the birth of the Anointed One and the puckish and transformative raven and the light contained and shared within our Unitarian Universalist tradition. Here's what I think I hear, and I think I hear it clearly. I hear a message about sharing. Share your light. Your divinely inspirited being. Who you are. Share your light, where light here is a metaphor for love. And if you work that back into the stories that we heard, that means that the power that created the universe is love and lives in you and is to be shared. But there's lots of subtexts as well. There's impressions of honesty and clarity, justice, curiosity, transformation, and creativity. And when you run those through to how they show up in our present circumstance, what I hear is free Palestine, house the unhoused, love the immigrant, undermine empire, speak truth to power, love people for who they know themselves to be, rest in the love universal, flip the tables of capitalism who make profit out of the holy, and the whole world is holy. So by our clarity and curiosity, love and generosity, is our light nurtured and kindled and shared, and all these stories tell us so. All these stories tell us to do so. So let's hear one more story. A
couple of facts might help to make this story make sense. Transylvania is about 6,000 miles from here, and there are lots of Unitarians there. The pictures that we thought we were going to have are from real Unitarian churches, but they're pictures of how they look today, not how they looked always with these stories. And finally, there was no electricity in our homes and churches a long time ago, and when there wasn't, people used lamps that look a lot like these pictures. Okay? So, many years ago in the land of Transylvania, there was a village of small wooden houses with dark shingled roofs. The people of the village were Unitarians of the Unitarian religion, and they wanted a church of their own set on the hillside overlooking the village. So all the people of the village worked hard to build themselves a church. They carved and hammered and sawed and worked until they had a fine stone church. They placed a bell in the top of the tower and filled the church with beautifully carved pews. Then they worked some more and decorated the inside with paint and flowers and embroidered cloth. The church set on a hillside looking down on the village was finished. The church was finished, but the people were really tired and hungry. "We will go home now," announced the elder of the village, "and later tonight we will come back to pray." So joyfully, the people of the village went down the hillside to their homes and their suppers, except for one little girl named Zora and her father, who happened to be the minister of the church. They had brought their bread and cheese with them, and they ate it sitting on the grass on the hillside and admiring the new church. After they had eaten, they went back inside, and Zora looked around the new church and cried, "Look, Papa, see how grand." "Yes, it is," said her father, looking around and nodding with pride. "Yes, it is, but Papa," she said suddenly, "we haven't finished." "What do you mean?" "Well, there are no lamps. The church it's getting dark, and the church is how will we know when the people come back? How will we see?" "Ah, no, little one," said her father, taking her by the hand. "You shall see." And so he rang the bell to call the people to worship, and then they waited on the grassy hillside next to the door of their beautiful church. "You'll see," he said again. "The light of the church comes from its people." The sun had set behind the mountains, and the night was coming soon. Yet in the growing darkness, tiny points of light came from many directions and moved steadily up the hill. "Each family is entrusted with a lamp, little one," her father explained. "Each family lights its way here." The many lights moved closer together, gathering into one moving stream, all headed the same way, growing larger and brighter all the time. Zora's mother finally arrived, bearing a burning lamp in her hands. And soon, the church was filled with people and ablaze with lamps in every corner, for all the people of the village had gathered to pray and sing, bringing their light with them. All through the worship service, Zora watched the lights flicker, and she watched her family's light most of all. When the service was over, her mother carried the lamp home. It guided their way through the dark night and lit their houses when they returned home. Zora washed her face and got ready for bed by the light of that flame. "Mother," Zora began as she climbed into bed and lay down. "Yes, little one?" "Father said the light of the church come from its people." "Yes." "But he also said people take their light from the church." Over on the table, the shiny bronze lamp that they had brought was still burning. "We have that light every day." "Yes, indeed," said her mother. "And even when we are not in church, even when the lamp is not lit, the light of truth in our minds and the flame of love in our hearts, it shows us the right way to be. That light, the light from truth and love, will never go out." We share those ideas with our Transylvanian friends, and we often say in children's worship, "We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again."
So over time, the lamps become chalice. Light, their light, And the light isn't always just in the chalices. The chalices are just a visible representation of the light that we have within us, in our hearts, always. So this congregation, we have participated in water communion in September, which speaks to our character, and in soil communion in November, which speaks to our yearning and our dreams. Tonight, we engage in a traditional and time-honored ceremony of passing a flame from one to the other, sharing our light. And this is nothing less than a communion of fire. It's a ceremonial demonstration of our care for each other. And this light, which you will all share in a moment, symbolizes that we will nurture each other with our own light as a reflection of and assurance of and a call to the returning sun. A promise, faith, joy. So our light, like an infant, needs to be nurtured even as it is promised to guide us out of the cold and dark. This light, like that babe of story, is our promise to one another and the world. Through it, may we find love and life and beauty. And here now is the message of that light. Close your eyes, if you would, to listen closely and bring the dark. Close your eyes, for I speak this truly. You are love. What would it be like to believe that? To trust your light. But it's true. You are love. You are life. And life is love. That's the truth, essentially. Life is love. You are life, and life is love. You are love. You are life, and life is love. You are love. You are the light and the dark and their dance. Your hands are the hands of the sun as it flows through plants and then through eventually to you, the template and temple of dreams. You are life, and life is love. You are love. May we share our radiance, our love, to light the world when it most needs us, when we need each other, when we need clarity. We need our light. You are love. All of you. Everything. And knowing that is the heart of all magic. And so let's do some magic. Can we dim the lights in the sanctuary, please? And ushers, could we dim the lights in the small hall, please? I'd like to invite Manny and Jacob, our chaliceers, to come forward and carry our light from our congregational chalice to our home chalices on the altar. they are consecrating these objects. They are made sacred by saturation in this company and its cause. They're given meaning and charge simply by you being here together. In that way, they are like you. On this night, in the glow of our cumulative hope and care. Soaked in our collective magic, our love suffused with that light. The same for your hearts. As your chalice holds the light of our congregation, know that you hold the light of our love in your body. As we sing Silent Night, to honor the solstice, the longest night, and what it indicates, the return of light, the replenishing of innocence, the hope for love on earth. I invite the congregation to rise. As we make many out of one and one out of many. And if I can get the corners to come light their chalices or their candles from one of the chalices on the altar. So Alcira, Sarah. And then you may share your light.
Solstice night, sacred night, stars shine bright, clear and light. Long as darkness now fades away, bringing hope of a brand new day. Peace and stillness we find. Peace and stillness we find. Solstice night, radiant skies, moon above, gently rise. Winter's chill yet warm in our hearts. From the light, new life will start. Nature's wisdom we hear. Nature's wisdom we hear. Solstice night, spirits call. Ancient ways guide us all. Gather here in love and care. Earth renews, and so we must dare. Trust our light will shine. Trust our light will shine.
We have created together with our light, our shared light, Let us go knowing that we take that light with us in our heart. It's ours to give, to receive from one another. Our gifts of light on this celebratory solstice night. Let us go in peace. Let us go singing.
Solstice night, say